Chuck Close, the acclaimed artist whose massive portraits reside in the world's top museums, is facing allegations from several women that he sexually harassed them when they came to his studio to pose for him. Two women recently told the New York Times that Mr. Close had asked them to model naked for him, requests that made them feel exploited and uncomfortable. And on Tuesday, HuffPost published similar accounts from women, including one who described stripping in front of Mr. Close. HuffPost reported he then moved toward her in his wheelchair so that his head was inches away from her vagina, and said it looks delicious. In an interview on Wednesday, Mr. Close, 77, denied making this comment but acknowledged that he has spoken to women candidly and even crudely about their body parts. He said he did so in the interests of evaluating them as possible subjects, and he said he apologized if he had made women feel uncomfortable. He said he had brought women to his studio for artistic reasons, and generally paid them to audition for photographs, since he occasionally produces daguerreotype nudes, several of which were featured in a 2014 survey at his gallery, Pace. I'm inviting them to my studio to audition. I don't have a camera there, so I have to see their bodies. It's a very expensive process, Mr. Close said. I've never had a complaint in 50 years, not one. Last time I looked, discomfort was not a major offense, he added. I never reduced anyone to tears, no one ever ran out of the place. If I embarrassed anyone or made them feel uncomfortable, I am truly sorry, I didn't mean to. I acknowledge having a dirty mouth, but we're all adults. In a statement earlier Wednesday, Mr. Close also sought to defend himself by citing his own physical disability. Mr. Close has limited use of his arms and legs. As a quadriplegic, I try to live a complete, full life to the extent possible, he said. But given my extreme physical limitations, I have found that utter frankness is the only way to have a personal life. Modeling nude for artists is an age-old tradition. But there is an unofficial code of conduct associated with painting someone nude that includes informing models in advance that they would be expected to undress, making sure the subject is comfortable posing unclothed, refraining from commenting on a model's body, keeping the atmosphere professional, and avoiding personal questions. According to the women who spoke to the Times and HuffPost, Mr. Close violated this code, making inappropriate comments about their bodies, probing into their private lives and holding out the prospect of their being painted by a venerated artist to lure them to his studio, with what seemed to them no real artistic intent or result. In 2010, the artist Langdon Graves and her art class of teenagers were invited to appear on Sundance Channel's Iconoclast series, featuring Mr. Close and the magician David Blaine, she told The Times. The day after the shooting, Mr. Close called Ms. Graves, complimented her on her artwork and her teaching and invited her to his studio. Because he went at it from an angle of me being an artist and educator, it seemed meaningful, Ms.